Welcome. I'm Dee Perry, and I'm welcoming you to CIFF Speaks, the official podcast of the Cleveland International Film Festival. I'm here with my producer, Aaron Spears. Hey, Aaron.
Hello, Dee, and hello, film fans.
And it is day 2 of CIFF43. And as the festival begins to unfold, Aaron, it's taking me back to my beginnings with it, which was talking about it on the radio show around noon. And my producer, Dave Diorio, and I would get screeners in from the festival so we could watch films and talk about them on air with reps from the festival. And it was a few years of doing that before I actually went down to Tower City and did the watching on site. And I got to tell you, it was such a different experience because mingling with the crowds of film goers was a whole another level. I mean, you're surrounded by thousands of people who like what you like, love what you love, and hearing the different languages, seeing the different kinds of folks who are going in and out of the theaters added just a palpable excitement that I thrive on today.
I had a similar experience too. Well, I wasn't recording with you. That wasn't the similar experience, but the similar crowd experience too. The first time I went down, I was 17, and I had convinced my parents to let me go down because I was already a film nut by that time anyway. It was the 19th film festival at that point. It was an Australian kind of coming of age lesbian drama. But the experience was what I remembered. I'm a 17-year-old kid. After the film was done, I'm talking to other people. I'm getting film recommendations. It was also the era of Blockbuster Video and, limited access to things. So it was when I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many other movies up here that I need to find that usually end up falling through the cracks because you just couldn't find them that easily. If it wasn't seen at the festival, you just weren't seeing it.
Yeah. Well, to put on a festival, it takes a community of hardworking folks, and we're going to hear from one of them in just a little bit, Patrick Shepard, the associate director of the festival. But first, there are things that I think, Aaron, folks need to know as they're coming to Tower City.
Yeah, the first heads up we have here for you on today's show is Ariana Grande is in town and performing at the Q tonight at 8 p.m., so plan accordingly if you're heading down in the evening to see films today. As always, we would recommend, use RTA or a Lyft to get down. It'll literally get you right to the front door, and you don't have to worry about any kind of parking.
And now we're going to hear from a man who's been helping the film festival roll along for more than a dozen years. He is the associate director of the Cleveland International Film Festival. Patrick, it's good to sit down with you.
Hello there.
So the film festival continues to expand its horizons, and this year it's also expanding its footprint in the region. Explain generally where and why.
Well, we're delighted to be in 3 of Cleveland's premier arts districts this year. As we know, we're going to kick off in Playhouse Square with opening night. Then we'll move to the Gordon Square Arts District in Cleveland's West Side Detroit Shoreway neighborhood for March 28th through 30th. And then we'll be in the University Circle Arts District April 4th through 6th.
And why?
We find that there is demand for this. Over the years, we've added theaters at Tower City. We've added a day of the festival. We've added morning screenings. We've added late night screenings. This is just another way to expand and to honestly just share more offerings with our patrons.
Yeah. But as you say that, I'm wondering if someone has to go specifically to Tower City to see a certain set of films, or if they can only see certain ones east or west.
Anything you can see at CIFF West or CIFF East, you can also see at Tower City. There's no exclusivity of films on the east or west side. You can see everything at Tower City, and the festival is happening in its entirety at Tower City. So nothing's being taken away from there. We're only expanding west and east.
And then focusing in today, because this is the opening day for CIFF West, what are the venues and locations utilizing on the west side?
Well, anybody who knew this neighborhood 20 years ago would just, I think, is so extraordinarily happy about how the neighborhood has evolved. And it's a combination of Cleveland City Council, Matt Zone is a longtime presence in that neighborhood, a great community development corporation, which really started the campaign to reopen the Capitol Theater, and just all the energy that's going in and around that neighborhood. So we're delighted to go back to the Capitol Theater. We've been at the Capitol Theater every year since it reopened, but mostly those were one-offs. It was 2 screenings in a night. Last year we actually did 4 screenings on 2 nights, but we really want to dig in. So we will be at the Capitol Theater and right next door at Near West Theater, March 28th, March 29th, and March 30th. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Thursday night, we're just going to be at Near West Theater. There'll be 2 screenings. And then starting Friday, we will have simultaneous screenings at both the Capitol Theater and Near West Theater throughout the day. The same will be true for Saturday, March 30th, with the exception of the fact that we'll have a morning screening at Near West Theater with a family shorts program. So we'll certainly be welcoming families for that screening.
Patrick, describe the atmosphere people will find in the neighborhood of CIFF West.
The Gordon Square Arts District in the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood is very vibrant. A lot of things are going on. Cleveland Public Theater will have events throughout that weekend. So we strongly encourage people to give yourselves plenty of time to get there. We're actually establishing a Lyft Pudo. That means pick up, drop off. So we encourage rideshare. Lyft is a sponsor of the festival. And you also can take RTA. There's an RTA Red Line station in the neighborhood, and the number 26 bus goes right by both of our venues. And I also want to mention that all of these screenings at CIFF West are made possible by the generous support of PNC Bank. We do get the question, where can I purchase tickets for CIFF West or CIFF East screenings? Tickets can be purchased in advance online on our website, by phone, or in person at the CIFF box office at Tower City Cinemas. Day of show tickets, when available, can be purchased on site beginning 1 hour prior to the start of the first screening at each venue. We also get the question, where can I pick up will call tickets? And if you don't already have your tickets, will call will open 1 hour prior to the start of the first screening at each venue.
So then arriving CIFF West as a patron, the same lineup for ticket holders, standby. It's a fully functional box office and everything else.
Yeah, we're recreating the festival in this hub. In a way, we're setting up a residency in the Gordon Square Arts District. So you'll find almost all of the elements that you'll find at Tower City in and around the Capitol Theater and Near West Theater. It's going to be great.
It makes me curious, though, about staff allocation, because I often see you, Patrick, on stage at Tower City screenings explaining one thing or another. So are you going to be running all over town, being lifted or RTA? From
probably lifted. No, I mean, yes. I mean, you're going to see some of our best seasonal staff there, and I think at least some full-time staff have coverage throughout the course of the entire residency. But, you know, it's something that we're very excited about, and I just can't wait to see how it unfolds.
All right, thank you, Patrick, for stopping by, and we will see you in a few days, and we will be discussing CIFF East when that opens up later in the festival.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much, Patrick. Patrick Shepard is the Associate Director of the Cleveland International Film Festival, and he's been speaking with me and with producer Aaron Spears for today's CIFF Speaks. And Aaron, film forums are a really interesting part of the festival where some speaking happens in person.
They are, and we wanted to, with each episode of CIFF Speaks, give you a little heads up on which film has a forum. They're not going on every day of the festival, but most days of the festival. So today's film is called The Pursuit. It plays at 4:45 p.m. It is a documentary that is based around Arthur Brooks, who's an award-winning economist, and the topic of discussion after the film by the panel of experts that'll be there is, if capitalism is the answer, then what exactly is the question? The film forums are one of those great, I kind of like to think of them as an antidote to internet chat rooms, where like you have professionals with a moderated, intelligent conversation that the audience gets to interact with and ask questions of. So of the films that play at the festival, there's a lot of really intense, heavy social issues and political issues that you're allowed to, discuss afterwards in a moderated, intelligent adult situation.
Yeah, and I like the forums because oftentimes after you've seen something, you want to turn to someone and say, this is what I think about what I just saw.
Yes.
And in a lot of cases, you get to say that to the filmmaker in the forums or people in the community who can speak directly to some of those issues.
And how it just really ties into even Cleveland specifically in a lot of cases as well. So
yeah. And that reminds me, there are a lot of partners who help enhance the festival in a lot of different ways. For instance, arriving and leaving. RTA and Lyft are the easiest ways to arrive in style at CIFF43, and all RTA trains and many bus lines provide direct service to Tower City Center, and our official rideshare, Lyft, offers discounts for existing customers. Lyft to CIFF, that's LYFT, the number 2, and CIFF. And new customers, Lyft CIFF Newbie, and Newbie is NEWBIE. To keep up with everything CIFF, visit clevelandfilm.org, follow CIFF on social media, or use the CIFF app. That's it for this edition of CIFF Speaks. I'm Dee Perry.
I'm Aaron Spears.
And thanks for listening to CIFF Speaks.